And I'm gonna say this. You got people like Tiffany Haddish, right? She's doing this particular panel session. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of panels. Somebody's gonna look like the fool, but anyway. And she's sitting with these other women, right? The only melanated woman there. I think the other woman in the corner might be biracial, who knows? And everybody's serious. They're taking the topic seriously, and she's being goofy about it. And you got to ask, why did they bring her on? Because she's the comedy relief. They are being very discriminatory to her. They don't want her to outsmart the other women. They don't want her to actually have good, logical answers or solutions. She's there to make them laugh. And when she's talking about withholding relations from Caucasian men, it's like, good luck with that, because of the amount of worship that these Caucasian men get from women of all different groups. I highly doubt that's going to work. Okay? Because y'all got to remember, these same women who are feminists, who are on social media pushing the alphabet community narrative, they go home to Caucasian men. Yes, they do. They procreate with them. They want to keep their family as white as snow. But then they will get on social media with all this guilt, trying to guilt other Caucasian people, trying to make it seem like they're more liberal than the next. And you don't see the subtle hints of how they just make fun of you. You're the comedy relief. You're not there to bring anything tangible to the conversation. You're just there to be the useful mascot. And it's difficult for me to say that, because looking at that situation, seeing her as the lone black person on that panel, is still, you got to call it what it is. I don't think Tiffany's dumb, but she understands her role, and it's sad that your role is to make people laugh when they really should not be laughing. You're having a serious discussion. Even Kevin Hart can have a discussion. He can try to be funny, but he can have a serious discussion, I believe, when need be. There'll be some times where he will just try to be funny and it doesn't work. But
logic and rationale is a must, which could create an independent mindset.
Appreciate that, Marwan. And rational thought isn't common anymore. Rational thought isn't common anymore. And I think that you have people like Tiffany Haddish who are brought to conversations not to be logical or rational, but to basically just fill a quota, just to be inclusive. Y'all notice they bring, these conversations, it's mostly women, right? They're discussing how they could fix a world that they are currently messing up with their mindset, with their behavior, like the woman who was dancing in front of the officers, putting on a striptease for them in a Black Lives Matter shirt. Your behavior is going to follow you, and people aren't going to take you seriously. They're not going to take you seriously. And you should want to be taken seriously. You don't want to be considered a joke. Now, you're not going to stop discrimination, rampant discrimination, by withholding anything, because they can always find somebody who's going to do whatever they need to be done for them. And the fact that you're singling out Caucasian men, and you're not looking at the fact that there still could be, Caucasian women who could feel some type of way about us, who could say things about us. You want to exclude them out as if, they don't have that same mindset. Remember who Karen is. Karen ain't from the block. You know what I'm saying? She ain't from a black neighborhood. Karens are Caucasian women who are out here getting in the faces of as many black men as they can. Okay? And I bet most of those Karens are liberal white women who don't want to live anywhere around you. And as soon as you move into their neighborhood, you're at the same parks as them, they're gonna get upset because they don't feel that you, as melanated people, should have what they have, should live in the same neighborhoods as they live in. your kid shouldn't go to the same school as theirs. You shouldn't be at the same pool as them. Have y'all noticed in these incidents of videos? Because we know Caucasian males are the ones who can stop all this rampant discrimination, right? Have y'all noticed in all these videos of incidents with black men, it's always a Caucasian female calling the police? You don't really see a Caucasian dude calling the police like that. You know what I'm saying? It's always Caucasian. So what I'm saying is, these same women are going to be the same ones trying to have these group discussions about how to end what they are perpetuating, which is funny. This is why they invite Tiffany Haddish to these conversations. They invite her to these conversations because she's there, one, to say, hey, we got somebody black here. And two, she's not going to take it seriously. Nobody's going to take what she's saying seriously. She's not going to bring anything to the conversation. You know, she's not going to challenge our points. She's just going to go along with what we're saying. This is why if you are I would say if you are a melanated woman, right? You're intelligent. You're not a sheeple. You go into these discussions and you actually challenge them, they're not gonna like it. You're not gonna be invited back. Okay? You're not gonna be invited back for wine, okay? But they are gonna bring Tiffany Haddish to the discussion because they're comfortable with her. They are comfortable with Tiffany Haddish. They are comfortable with her there. So I got to understand the subtle the subtle hints of discrimination there. Just because, you know, they claim to be welcoming of a discussion about race, trust and believe in the back of their minds they think they're smarter than you, they think they're better than you, and they don't want you challenging their points, because as soon as you challenge them, the Karen is going to come out of them. The Karen is going to unleash once you challenge them, and Tiffany's not going to challenge them. That's why I would love to see a black woman with a little bit more of a balanced mindset and less goofy in one of these discussions, because she's not going to say she's not going to say, like, if you withhold your box, these Caucasian males are going to change. Who says that? Like, seriously? So only them are the key to stopping whatever it is that is going on. not really looking at the fact that the Caucasian women are raising the kids. Now, are Caucasian men, absolved of any responsibility? Absolutely not. They have done their fair share of damage as well. Damage that they're trying to put out. They're trying to fix, and I don't know if they ever will. And bending the knee to the social media mob ain't gonna change that. It's only gonna embolden. You have to confront situations, and watching Caucasian people turn on each other and throw each other under the bus, especially Caucasian men. Even though I seen a hashtag that says I think White on strike. I don't know if y'all seen that, but they had like this White on strike, right? Where I guess Caucasian, or specifically Caucasian men, were going to strike, and they weren't going to work or do anything as far as, jobs or whatever. There were people really upset about that. Because it's like, you don't want them around, you don't want to hire them, you think they're the problem, but as soon as they say they're going on strike, if we gonna have a discussion about race, we need to have an honest one and a balanced one at that, where you can have people who are liberal or conservative who can come to the table and really discuss why we are in this condition. I think one of the major reasons we're in this condition is because we don't have any leadership. We don't have any real leadership out here whatsoever. We have a lot of people trying to be leaders for a little while, but once the heat gets too hot, they don't want to be leaders no more. Or if the spotlight is on them, I'm not a leader, Like some of your top pro-blacks have denounced leadership, but they're the main ones telling you what you need to do. You can't lead from the back. You can only lead by standing in front so people can see you. But nobody wants to be a leader. They want to tell you to go and risk your livelihood and risk your safety in order to prove them right, you know, in order to get on their good side, to impress them. But trust and believe, putting what you have on the line is not impressing anybody. It's only going to end up making things worse for you, not nobody else. You cannot have a strong community if you don't have strong leadership and you don't have a foundation. The church used to be our foundation, right? You know, we as black people were conservative. And I still think that a good majority of us, morals wise, we are. But I think that we've been corrupted politically to support people who are against what we believe. But when you have a bunch of single parent households, no father figures, the men in the communities have been ran off or they have been deposed. The women don't want to listen to them. And what's funny is that we want to defund the police, right? We want to defund the police, but who calls the police more than anybody? This is why we don't have any real leadership, because the women always know that they can count on 5-0 if we upset them, if we raise our voice to them, okay? If we put our foot down, guess who they're gonna call? So you got people that will say one thing and then do another, because that's what social media clout gets you. And then there's the reality. And the reality is people want a safe environment. You know, people don't want to be told what to do. They don't want a big government. They want to be able to live their lives the way that they want to. But if you believe what Tiffany Haddish believes, that withholding relations from Caucasian males is going to change anything, then you are a bigger fool than she looks in this video.